Getting everything in grabbing range here. All right, and then I also recommend that you sit just a little bit forward of on the chair so you're not leaning back onto the chair back. And that's just to get your spinal muscles to wake up and get stronger. So the core strength gets a little bit stronger when you don't lean back in the chair. And then those muscles do get fatigued because they're not used to sitting upright. And so when they get too tired and you don't want them to get to that burning, usually like right between the shoulder blades, they start to burn. And before that happens, just lean back and give those muscles a rest. And then they will get stronger and stronger over time. So some of you may be able to sit without leaning back into the chair back at all throughout the whole class. And if that's the case, kudos, great. All right, so just sitting tall and comfortable. Take a moment to tune into your breath. So today we're going to do a breath that is inhaling through the nose, through both nostrils, and then we're going to exhale and bring your hand up, your finger up to close off one nostril and exhale out one side and inhale back in that same side. Oh, sorry, not inhale, scratch that. Inhale both nostrils, exhale out one side, inhale both nostrils, exhale out the other side. So every exhale will be out one or the other nostril, and you'll alternate which nostril you exhale out of. All right, so inhale both nostrils, and then exhale out one side. Inhale both nostrils, and exhale the other side. And just remember which side you're on. If you're taking your hand up and down, you can certainly keep your hand up there, and might be easier to remember. And so the idea is that when you're just using one nostril, it will slow the breath down and lengthen that breath. And since we're only using one nostril on the exhale, the idea is that your exhale takes a little bit longer. And when the exhale is longer, it's more calming for the nervous system. So that's why we're doing this breath. That's the function of this breath. If that is not what's happening for you, then you adjust this breath. So you can breathe in and out through one nostril or breathe in and out through both nostrils, whichever you like. So we want the idea of this breath to feel more calming, but it does make the mind more alert because the mind is having to keep track of which nostril. Let's just do a couple more breaths like that. And then some things to watch for. If you do keep your hand up the whole time, there's a tendency to pull the head off center over toward the hand that's raised. So you might keep your eyes open and just sort of look down and see that your nose is facing straight down. Every now and then, just double check that you haven't lost that good alignment of the head staying, keeping your head on straight. All right, let's come down to the palms on the lap, palms down. And we're going to inhale, turn the palms up. And on the exhale, roll along the pinky side of the hand so the palms go down. So it's not picking them up and putting them down. It's just very gently rolling along that pinky side of the hand. Exhale down. We're going to add a little spinal movement with this. So when the palms go down, round the spine a little bit, your head down. And when the palms come up, go to the slightest little back bend, squeezing your shoulder blade tips in toward each other, the bottom tips of your shoulder blades in. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades wing out when you round your spine. Then you squeeze the shoulder blade tips in. Exhale when you pull the shoulder blades apart and the palms are down. Inhale into the back bend. All right, we're going to let the arms do a little bit more work. You can let the palms leave the lap and swing out to the side on the inhale. Palms back down, rounded spine on the exhale. And the arms can start to do larger range of motion as comfortable for you in your shoulders and everything. I generally like to start with smaller range of motion and then get larger and larger. If ever you run into a pain in the joint of that we're moving, skip it. Just either back it back down to where it was comfortable or just skip the movement altogether. Let's do one more, your most comfortable, largest movement. And exhale the palms back down. We're going to come down to the feet now. Put your feet on sliders and especially just one. So we work with just one leg at a time to begin with, and scoot forward toward the edge of your chair. So most of your thigh is off of the chair. And we'll stretch the leg out, flexing the foot. That's your inhale. Bend the knee, slide back in on the exhale. Inhale out. Exhale, bending the knee. Inhale, the leg goes towards straight. Exhale, bend. All right, and some of the time we're going to turn the foot out. A little rotation in the hip socket. Next time we're going to roll the foot in, toes in, kind of pigeon-toed. And again, out and in. And do that one more time. All right, and then just the leg straight or the foot straight. You go with the foot flexed and we'll point and flex out there, keeping your leg out as straight as it's willing to go today. And then bring it back in. Go back out with the toes down. You get a stretch across the top of the ankle there. And you can lift the heel to deepen the stretch. Kind of raise and lower that heel a couple times to deepen the stretch. And then flex the foot again and circle the foot around a couple of times in one direction, a couple of times in the other direction. And then bring that leg in and we'll switch over to the other side and do the same over there. Leg out on the inhale, exhale when you bend the knee back in. And then we'll start the rotation in the hip socket, rolling the toes out, the whole leg out, and pigeon-toed, but from your hip, do the rotation up in the hip. And the thigh bone in the hip socket rotates the leg, let the foot and the knee and the leg follow what you're doing up in your hip. So otherwise, if you just do the foot turning, you can torque your knee. You don't want to torque the knee. All right, and then we'll take it out with the toes up, foot flexed, and point and flex a couple times. And then toes down and raise the heel just a couple times. And even if that heel doesn't come up much, so mine barely comes up, I can probably slip a piece of paper under there. And that's fine. Just the effort to start to move it up will work the same muscles as if you actually get it up and can slide a piece of paper under there. All right, I just did my circles, 2 in one direction and 2 in the other. If you happen to be looking and following along. And when you're finished with that, go ahead and bring the leg in. So now both legs are in and we're going to come back to the spine. So you can scooch back a little bit, but still be not leaning back into the chair back. So sit forward of the chair and bring your hands to your thighs. So when the hands are back by the hips, that'll be our back bend. And when the hands go forward toward the knees, that'll be when you round your spine, chin looks down or head looks down. Exhale, inhale in toward the back bend. Exhale. And you can feel how this hand movement helps what's happening with the shoulder blades. So when your hands come back to the hips, your elbows go back, you squeeze your shoulder blade tips in toward each other. That's your back bend and your inhale. The other way is the exhale. All right, that we call a cat-cow movement. Bring your hands to your hips now, and we'll do laterals to either side. On the inhale, lengthen the spine, get a little taller. Exhale, lean to one side. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, other side. And repeat. These are part of the 6 directions of the spine. That's that handout I was telling you about. So the cat-cow movement is the first 2 of the 6 directions, and these laterals left and right are another set of 2. Exhale over, and then we have a twist for our final set. This next one, let's slide the hand down the chair leg, and if you have blocks, you can go all the way to the block and back up. Other side, go down the chair leg. You can just hold on to that chair leg, or if you have a block in range, to the block. And we're going to go one more time each side again and stay just a little bit longer. In this stay, squeeze your shoulder blade tips in toward each other again, and you can turn your head to look down, then move it toward the horizon, and you can continue moving the head up toward the ceiling if comfortable and in your range of motion for your neck. And then bring it all the way back down and come on up to neutral or to our center or start spot. And then over to the other side, exhaling. Squeeze those shoulder blade tips in toward each other. Exhale, look down. And then begin to turn the head looking back up toward the horizon and even further if comfortable for you. And see if you can keep those shoulder blade tips in the entire time. Look back down and breathing the entire time. And come on back up. So it's easy to hold the breath when we're concentrating on exactly what to do. So I'm giving breath cues all the time for exhaling here and inhaling, doing this. In the beginning, use those breath cues just to make sure that you're not holding the breath, which is what we tend to do when we're concentrating. So don't worry about if you're exhaling when I'm saying to inhale and all that. Just use whatever breath cue it is as a reminder to breathe and not hold your breath. All right, we'll take the twist now. On the inhale, raise your arms part way. Exhale, bring one hand to the opposite knee and the other hand back behind you anywhere. Inhale, come right back to center, arms up. Exhale, go to the other side. And we'll repeat that side to side. And feel free to let your head turn as well. Your head can look toward the side wall. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale into the twist. All right, this time we're going to hold the twist and turn the head to look at the side wall or even further. Sometimes that takes the twist further. Make sure it's not too deep for you. Keep breathing and squeeze the bottom tips of those shoulder blades together again. That's what we call the back heart. And then come back to neutral and over to the other side. Make a nice long spine and add the shoulder blades. The head can turn to deepen the twist a little. You can always back off. And then unwind back to center. And so those are the last set of 2 of the 6 directions. If you'd like that handout, just email me and I'd be happy to send it to you. All right, let's come to the arms. And on the inhale, raise the arms out to the sides. On the exhale, close it up to the front. Inhale back out and exhale down. And we'll repeat that. Shoulder height, exhale to the front, inhale back out, and exhale down. If comfortable, take the arms up higher, as high up as comfortable for you, your range of motion. Inhale up, exhale down in front, inhale out wide, and exhale down. And we'll repeat that. Arms up as high as comfortable for you. Exhale to the front. Inhale out wide. And exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down in front. Inhale out wide. And exhale down. All right. We're going to turn to the corner of the chair. And you'll need the foot that's toward your screen on the slider. And scooch forward toward the corner, toward the edge of that chair. And place the heel on the slider, and on the inhale, stretch the leg forward and as straight as it's willing to go. Exhale back in, and then start to take it out toward the side, just bit by bit. Inhaling out, exhaling back in. And keep repeating. And take it as far around toward the back half as comfortable, and play with how you rotate in the hip socket. Sometimes if you rotate a little bit different, you can get a deeper stretch somewhere. Don't get into where it's too deep. When you start to go back, rotate that thigh in and stretch back so it's good, like a typical lunge position, which we'll use when we do the sun salutes here. All right, now pick one of these positions, maybe toward the back half, which tends to be a little bit deeper stretch for you, and just hold for a breath. You're going to raise the arms on the inhale and lower them on the exhale. Inhale again, and exhale, bend the knee. All right, we'll walk it around to the other side. Keep that sliding apparatus in front there for your other side. So we're off on the other corner here, looking toward the edge with the foot that's toward the screen on the slider. Heel on that, and inhale, stretch it out in front, exhale back in, and starting to go out on different angles out toward the side and even toward the back. You're always doing the range of motion that feels comfortable for you. So I'm trying to exaggerate movements here, and I've been doing yoga since '79, so probably have a little more range of motion than most folks. So don't try to copy me. You always just pass it through what feels good on your body. All right. Different rotations in that hip. And don't forget the lunge position, taking that foot almost straight back behind you. And then picking any of these angles that you like, that you can stay on. And inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, bend the knee. And let's bring it to the front. Facing forward, and bring both of your feet on whatever you're sliding your feet on, and both legs out on the inhale, back in on the exhale, and repeat. Some of the time you can point or keep the toes down, get the stretch across the top of the ankle, and some of the times you can stretch the heels out, getting the stretch in the calf or down the back of the leg. Let's go one more. All right, and then let's go back off to that corner again. You'll need one slider in front again on that leg that's in the toward the screen. Let's start with the legs in front, and that's our exhale. And on the inhale, stretch the arms up, your range of motion that's comfortable for you. And on the exhale, we're going to fold over the legs. Let your hands slide down the legs. Inhale all the way back up, arms up. And exhale the arms down. Let's stretch both legs out in front. You can hold on to the back of the chair there. And push into the chair like you're trying to lift your hips up. They may or may not get out of the chair, and that's fine. And then bring the legs back in, and that leg that's on the slider is going to slide back into the lunge. Just hold right there, and you're looking for a stretch here in the front of the hip. Your hip flexors. These guys get tight from sitting all day, so give them a nice stretch. The more you can get that leg back behind you. All right, so these are pieces of the sun salute. Let's actually play with those over on the other side. So turn off to the other side, other corner. Get your slider ready. And inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding over your legs. You can slide your hands over the knees and down toward the feet, and then inhale, come right back up. Exhale the arms down. And then let's slide that both legs out in front, actually. Let's do that again. This time, instead of pushing into the chair back, we're going to take the arms off, hands off the chair, as long as your chair is stable. And you're looking for a shoulder opener, just to stretch through your shoulders. And there's, all kinds of different ones you can do. So pick a stretch that feels like a good one for you. I'm just trying to take my elbows back behind me to stretch through the front of the shoulder there. But you can play with that for you. And then let's do the lunge, stretching that leg back behind you, looking for the stretch in that hip flexor. Somebody's mic might be on if you guys want to check and see if that's you. And then bringing that leg back in. All right, so now we can do a sun salute on the corner of the chair. Oops, forgetting the slider. Don't forget your slider. Keep the slider under the leg that's toward the screen. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, over you go. Fold forward. Inhale, come on back up. And into the lunge. Stretch that leg back into the lunge. And then when you bring that leg forward, take both feet forward with it and push into the chair seat for your arm strengthener. And then you can keep the legs out or bend them and bring them in. We're looking for a back bend here. You push into the chair, squeeze the shoulder blade tips in toward each other, broaden across those collarbones. And back to neutral and the shoulder opener. And release. We're going to exhale and fold over the legs. Inhale all the way up, arms up. And exhale back to start. All right, and then we'll go to the other corner and take a sun salute over there. Don't forget your sliding apparatus for your other side. All right, exhale here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale up to neutral and stretch that leg back for a lunge. Just pause there. And then that back leg's going to come all the way in front, straight out in front for downward dog in a chair. So this is one variation where you push into the chair for an arm strengthener and then take a back bend. And the other variation of downward dog is that shoulder opener. So downward dog has a shoulder opener aspect to it as well. And then we'll fold over the legs on an exhale. Exhale from your belly. Inhale all the way up, arms up, and exhale back to start. All right, so that's one variation of sun salute. We're going to face forward and do a different variation of sun salute. And this one actually is the one I have on the handout. Let me just mute that person. All right, so this variation, the lunge is looks like this. You just lift one foot up like this, and you can stretch it out if you like. And you can just raise the heel as the lunge with or without your hands. And if you want, you can bring the leg up further, again, with or without your hands. So that's our lunge in a chair facing forward. I don't think we need the sliders, actually. All right, so exhale here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Come on back up to start. And then take a lunge. And just remember which leg you're doing. And then downward dog, you should take both legs forward and push into the chair seat for the arm strengthening variation. And then a back bend. You can bend the knees and bring them in or keep them out this whole time. Shoulder opener variation of downward dog. You can stretch the arms however you like. And then we're going to lunge the other leg. So bring your legs back in if they're not already, and lunge the other side. And then fold over your legs, exhaling. Inhale all the way up, arms up. And exhale back to start. We're going to repeat that. So when I did that sun salute, I lunged my right leg first and then the left. This sun salute, I'm going to lunge my left and then the right on the way back. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, over you go. I'm going to bring my leg with me as I come up into the lunge. Lower that leg right out into downward dog. Let the other leg match. Press into the chair seat. Little arm strengthening work there. A back bend. A shoulder opener. And we're going to lunge the other leg. Fold over the legs, exhaling. All the way up, arms up. And just the arms down. So that's a second variation of sun salute. And there are many, many variations of sun salute. So, and we're going to play with putting some standing poses in the sun salute now. The variation that we just did off to the corner, or you can go all the way, turn a little bit more and be off to the side of your chair. And you kind of scooch forward on the chair so you're sort of half on the chair so that that leg will lunge and clear the front of the chair. So you can just set that up to get ready. And then have your legs more or less in front. And if it feels unbalanced, that other leg can be out to the side. So you don't feel like you're falling off the chair. So make it work for your chair and your body. Facing forward, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, come back up. And we're going to take the lunge here. Stretch that leg back anywhere toward the back half, anywhere from facing sort of straight out to the side to more toward the back. And now we'll add in some standing poses here. Turn to face your front knee, your bent knee. Exhale. Inhale the arms up for warrior one. Exhale, turn toward the screen and drop the arms out sideways about shoulder height for warrior two. We're going to turn the head to look over the front fingertips. Turn the head to look over the back fingertips. And then bring the back arm to join the front arm. Exhale. Inhale both arms up. Exhale, fold over your front leg. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, bend that back leg to bring it to the front and stretch the legs out, pressing into the chair seat for your downward dog variation. A back bend, a shoulder opener. Feels good. And then we'll finish the sun salute off here with the exhale, folding forward. Inhale all the way up. And exhale the arms down. All right, bring your slider with you for the other side. Walk it all the way around. You're either on the corner or all the way around to the side. And just make sure that you'll be able to get that front leg to lunge if you're all the way around to the side. So you need to be on toward the edge of the chair or front thigh to clear the chair. All right, exhale here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding. Come on back up. Lunge. Set that leg anywhere comfortable for you. Your heel can be up or down. So I like mine down, only because it more matches the standing poses as we teach them in a mat class. Turn to face your your front knee. Exhale. Inhale the arms up. Warrior one. Turning toward the screen, drop your arms out shoulder height for warrior two. You're going to turn the head to face the front fingertips. Keep your shoulder blade tips in toward each other. The head turns to the back. Bring the back arm to join the front arm. Exhale. Inhale back up for warrior one. Exhale, fold over the front leg. Come on back up. Back leg comes to the front. You can stretch the legs out for downward dog, and you can stretch them out in front and scoot, get more of your seat on the chair if you like. Pushing into the chair, lifting the hips for the arm strengthener, a back bend, a shoulder opener, and then we'll fold over the legs, exhaling. Inhale all the way up, arms up, and just the arms come down. All right, let's walk it around to the other side. Don't forget your slider. This time we'll just do some standing poses, not mixed in with the sun salute. So you can be off on the corner or all the way to the side. Set your back leg on any of those angles comfortable for you. Turn to face your bent knee in front. Exhale, fold over that knee. Inhale all the way up, arms up for warrior one. Exhale, turning sideways, warrior two. We'll pause right here. Shoulder blade tips in toward each other. On your next exhale, drop the arms down, elbow to thigh on that front leg, and the other hand can just come to the hip. Torso's facing the screen, squeezing your shoulder blades toward each other, and see if you can roll the ribs just a little bit more to face the screen. Those ribs like to turn down toward that front knee or toward the floor. So roll just a little bit more. You can always undo. Bring your hand up to your side ribs here. We're going to direct the breath into the side ribs. You can get that hand to feel some breath under those ribs. Exhale from your belly and inhale into your rib hand there. And while you're doing that, keep your shoulder blade tips in toward each other. One more breath. All right, and then turn to face your front knee. You're going to fold over it, exhaling. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, bend the back leg and walk it around. To the corner or all the way over, your choice. And then set your back leg anywhere, back there, comfortable for you. We'll turn to face the front knee. Exhale, fold over that front knee. Inhale all the way up, arms up for warrior one. Turning sideways, arms out wide, warrior two. Hold right here. Grab the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and squeeze them in. Simultaneously broaden across the collarbones on the front. And then we'll lower the arms down. One elbow coming to the front thigh, the other hand to the hip. We'll hold right here. Roll the torso more and more toward facing the screen or the side wall rather than the floor. Slide that hand up to the ribs, lower ribs. Exhale from the belly and inhale into that rib hand. Exhale belly. Inhale into the rib hand. Keep their shoulder blade tips in toward each other, collarbones broad. One more breath. And then turn to face your front knee, exhaling. We'll fold over that knee. And inhale, come on back up. Exhale, bend the back knee and come to face forward. And your both sliders in front. And we'll stretch both legs out, heels down, toes up, stretch both legs out and in. Legs go towards straight on your inhale, bending the knees on your exhale. Let's do one more. All right, and then let's just roll the spine and a baby back bend on your inhale. Maybe just half the depth of your back bend before. And now just a quarter depth of your back bend, so not very deep at all. Just estimating about, or just backing off, so it's less and less of a back bend. And then hardly any back bend at all. You're more just right to neutral, maybe just a tad past neutral toward a back bend. And then exhale, rounded spine. Just a tad past neutral. And now just to neutral. Still rounding the spine, but just to neutral on your inhale. And then just stay at neutral and barely round the spine and come back to neutral. Barely rounding the spine. Now, if somebody were watching you, they could hardly tell you were moving at all. Teeniest, tiniest movement. Keep the breath long, though. So you still take a very long, deep breath. You're not shortening the breath just because the movements are less. All right. And then just pause at neutral. And when the body is still, see if you can still feel as though the body's moving. And it's more like the breath is moving the body rather than the body moving in coordination with the breath that we were doing before. So if you can feel that, oh yeah, when you inhale, the body does get a little longer or a little more toward a back bend. And when you exhale, it does kind of drop toward a forward fold. Just so minutely, it's hard to tell. All right. Let's work with lines in the body. So connect the line from the heart to the middle of your head. Just feel like there's a point in the center of your heart center and a point in the middle of your head. And connect the dots. And then we're going to turn the line horizontal. So that was a vertical line. Draw a horizontal line from the center of one ear to the center of the other ear and connect the dots. You might notice if that line intersects with the head to heart line. And then we're going to drop a line from the point where those two lines intersected. So right in the very middle of your head down to the middle of your throat. And middle of the throat to the center of the heart. And continue down from the center of the heart down to the center of the belly. Center of the belly down to the center of the pelvic bowl, your lower belly. And then draw a horizontal line out from hip to hip. And then two lines, one from one hip to its knee, so say on the left side, and from the other hip to the knee. So two lines, one on each leg, upper leg. And then draw a horizontal line from knee to knee. And then dropping down from knee down to each ankle, two parallel lines on the lower legs. And another horizontal line across from ankle to ankle. And then from the heel to the ball of the foot. And then just kind of visualize all these sort of sticks that we built. And we're going to come back up to the shoulders and draw a horizontal line across shoulder to shoulder. And from each shoulder down to the elbows. Elbows to wrist. And from the wrist to the pad of the palms of your fingers. Kind of the ball of the foot. This is the ball of the palm. All right, you could draw more lines if you like, but just imagine all these lines again from sort of this bigger picture, looking at this kind of stick figure we drew. And imagine the space around each point and each line. So you might wish to take just one line, whichever line you're drawn to first, and visualize the space in front of the line, behind the line, one side of the line, the other side, and at the points, just a ball of energy around each point. All right, now we're not actually going to bring the hand up to the nose to exhale out one side or the other, but just visualize the inhale coming in through both nostrils, or if you like, you can visualize it coming in through both feet. And then exhale out one side, either one nostril or one foot, just as a visualization. Inhale both. Exhale out the other side. And continuing like that, inhaling through both feet or both nostrils or both. And exhaling out one side. And inhale again and exhale the other side. Inhales are through both. Exhales are out just one side. All right, we're going to bring just a little movement to the spine. You can do some cat-cows, wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe roll the shoulders around, anything you like, just to wake the body up after that. And I thank you. I wish you a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks to You Call This Yoga for making these classes happen, and our sponsor as well for contributing to make these classes happen. And if any of you are sponsors, thank you.